Okay, let's continue our look at sexagesimal arithmetic, and let's have a look at multiplication. So there's a couple of different ways that you could do sexagesimal multiplication. So let's say we want to multiply 52, what's it, 51 minutes, 13 seconds, and 47 thirds. Let's multiply that by 28 seconds, 14 thirds, and 53 fourths. Okay, so one way we can do it is convert it to decimal, and this process is known as leveling, converting from base 60 to base 10. And it's kind of straightforward. So what you do is you just convert to the lowest unit that you've got there. So for an example, in that first thing in that product, we've got, it goes to thirds. So let's convert it to thirds. So what we would do is we'd get the 51, we'd multiply it by 60. That would convert minutes to seconds. We'll add 13, so that's seconds, and then we multiply that by 60 to get thirds, and we'd add 47, get something, and then the second number we'd convert to fourths because that's the lowest thing. So to convert to fourth, we take the 28 multiplied by 60, we'd add 14, multiply by 60 to get fourths, and add 53. Okay, and so then we would multiply these two numbers together, or whatever they are. So let me just pause while I do the calculator. Okay, I just quickly did this on the calculator. So after leveling, I get 184,427. And that's going to be in thirds. And for the second number, I get 101,693, and that's going to be fourths. And of course, if I multiply thirds by fourths, I get this 18,754,000,000, and that's going to be in sevenths. So, and then you would then do the process of converting it back to a sexagesimal number, and you do that by first converting sevenths to sixths, right? So you divide by 60. Okay, so you get some number plus a remainder. That remainder is the number of sevenths in the answer. You get the number of sixths, you divide that by 60 to get the number of fifths, etc., etc. And you'll probably end up with somewhere like, so if it's seconds times minutes times seconds, the top answer is probably going to be something like thirds. Okay, let's just check on that. Okay, so if we divide by 60, and we see we have a remainder of 31. So that's going to be the number of sevenths. We take that number then that we've around 5 million, which was what we get when we divide that number by 60. We divide by 60 again, and we get a remainder of 8. We divide the previous number by 60, get the remainder, and we get 24. So that's the number of fifths. Take the previous number divided by 60, the remainder is 8. That's the number of fourths. We get 7. thirds, and 24 seconds, which actually makes kind of more sense because 51 minutes is like 5/6, so it's 5/6 of 28 60ths is around 24 60ths, and so we do it that way. Okay, so that's leveling. What a lot of Islamic mathematicians had would be a little booklet, and in that booklet would be multiplication tables, so of the numbers 1 through 60. So you'd have a 60 by 60 grid, basically, for, it'd be over various pages, so it'd be 3,600. So instead of learning your 53 by 53 times tables, you would have a little booklet which would give you all these kind of results. So the way that Kushar would have solved the problem. So let's do a problem for him. Let's do kind of like a kind of lesser problem, maybe something like 2317 times 42 31. Okay, so you would do 23 times 42. So 23 times 42 is actually 966. So 966 is what you're going to place there. So 966, when we divide by 60, has remained as 6. And the 960 divided by 60 is what, 16? So we put a 16 up here. So that's the 23 times the 42. And then we do the 23 times the 31. So 23 times 31. So we look it up in our multiplication table. We see it's 713. What's 713? Base 60. So 660 would be 11, and remainder would be 53. Okay, so up here we write 53 and we put 11 upstairs. So we have to write in there a 17. Okay, and so then that is how we've done gotten rid of the 23. Now we've got to do the 17. So to be able to do that, we're going to bring everything down 1. So we're going to do the 4231. We're going to write 4231 here. So again, we're just taking advantage of the position of the numbers. So 17 times 42 is 714, which, oh, that's easy, that's 1154. So 17 times 42 is going to sort of go in there. So we're going to add 1154 here. So 54 plus 53 is 107. So we're going to write in 47 here. And we're going to add the 11 plus the 1 that was over there, which is 12. So we add the 12 to the 17, and we're going to get 29. And then finally, we're going to do the 17 times the 31. 17 times 31 is 527, which is in base 60. I guess 480 is the nearest multiple of 60. 480 is an 8, and with the remainder of 47. So we're going to put 47, 8 in here. So we put 47, and then we add the 8 upstairs to make a 55. Okay. And so if this was, and then we'd have to worry about where the sexagesimal point is. So if this is 23 degrees, 17 minutes times 42 degrees, 31 minutes, then the units are here. And then here is the minutes and here's the seconds. But if it's 23 minutes, 17 seconds times 42 minutes, 31 seconds. So minutes times minutes is seconds. So the 29 would be a second. And so the 16 would be a minute. So this was a minute, and these were minutes, and this would be the minute up here. Okay. And there was one other way that people did multiplicate, the Muslim mathematicians did multiplication. So let's put down 23, 17, 42, 31. And that's something called a gelosia. I'll just write that. And that is you'd form a diamond. And this works in base 60 or base 10. And you sort of, so if we're doing the thing that we had before, we'd kind of, so like this. And so then we would write in, so what did we have? We had 23, 17 times 42, 31. And then we would do the multiplications. So we would say do the 23 times 42, which remember was 966. So we do write the 6 in there, and the 966 was that 16, wasn't it? And then we do the 17 times 42, which was 714, which was 1154, I believe. 17 times 31. It was 527, which was 527 is so 480 is 8, and we had 47 left over. And then finally 23 times 31 is 713. So that was 1153. And now we can just add it up at the bottom, just like add it up by columns. So we had down here, we have the 47. 54 plus 8 is 62. What's that? 115. So that's 55 and 1 left over. 12, 18, 29, and then 16. And hopefully that's what we got before. So it's just, this is a paper method. It wasn't developed, and this was developed later in times. Okay, so that was sexagesimal multiplication.